Alright, so I'm going to be getting this roofing primed. So first thing is, like I say, you want to spray on this wax and grease remover. Couple of clean towels. Just want to wipe this baby down. Before you even start sanding, you want to Alright, so I see this is going to go right down to bare metal, which is good. But I still got this treatment that I used in one of my earlier videos. So I'll be coming through spraying this stuff on here today. Alright, so I'm going to come on and spray this on first. And for one, it keeps down the dust. And for two, it'll be biting and treating this rust all at the same time. I don't know if you can see there, but it is surface rust on here, but this will eat it right down. Alright, so I sanded here you can't see it, it's off camera now, but this cleaned up. Now right in here is some pretty, it's not heavy surface rust, but it's light surface rust. Let me just show you, when I sand on this with just the sandpaper, it's gonna take a long time to cut this down back to bare metal. Let me show you here. Let me see if you can see. You see that little rusted spot right in there? See, I'm sanding on that, and that's not really coming out. Well, when I spray this with the metal prep, it's gonna just take that out of there. I want to get it wet. It's taking that out of there now. Like I said, I should have did the other side. It was a little bit more rustier than this. So I hope you can see that. See that? Now it's still rusted all in here. And if you look, just me taking my hand and doing like this with that metal prep, it's just taking that rust off of there. Let me see if I can just, you know, I can take a piece of sandpaper. I'm gonna try to do this with just one hand. So you're gonna have to be patient with me here. But you see that rust there? Now I'm gonna do this by hand. If you don't have a DA, I could take a whole piece of sandpaper. Like I said, I got some other videos that I show you what this metal prep is that I use. But I can just take that by hand. And it cleans that up pretty much. Now, it don't go as deep, but I have to keep scrubbing. It don't look like this, where I'm sanding with the DA, because the DA cuts a little harder than me doing it by hand. But if I want to just work this with the sandpaper by hand, I can eventually get all of that rust out of there. But I got the DA and I got the, even though I'm almost out of sandpaper, but I'm just trying to show you. You can take that out of there, that rust. You can get all that rust out of there, get it looking like that, guys. So, alright guys, so that's how that roof came out. I'll show you after I dry it down here, but I sprayed that 108 cleaner on here before I start. I'm on epoxy prime this first, then I come in. This side I've already dried down, so that's how that roof cleaned up on the 70 Wildcat. And the metal is etched pretty good. Ended up with 80 grit on there. It started out with 36, ended up with 80 grit, so it's etched. Now this 108 cleaner, or 108 metal treatment will make sure that this epoxy primer stick to this bare metal. So all clean up, guys. I'll be back after I dry this down. All right, so I got the 108 cleaner on there now. Now what I want to do is come in and I just want to use compressed air to dry this, you know, because one thing for sure is that if you have any pinholes like in these areas around here anywhere, this 108 cleaner got to be totally dry before you put that first coat of either primer or epoxy primer in there. So I'm gonna blow this down real quick. All right. All right, so now I got that epoxy primer on there. All right, so now I got that slick sand primer on there. Now I just want to come through and just spray me a guide coat on here. So this way I know when I sand this if there's any low spots on here. I swear I come through and I think the body work is done, and I think friends or family come through and get me out.